Well, as you may recall, 4.5 years ago, an airplane made a crash landing into New York's Hudson River. Everyone on board survived what's now known as the Miracle on Hudson. A Michigan man now wants to make sure nothing like that ever happens again. Lauren Fultonberg with that story.
We start with breaking news. A U.S. Airways plane has crashed into the Hudson River.
Something terrible happened, resulting in dual engine failure.
The leading culprit is a bird strike.
January 15th, 2009. An unforgettable day in New York City.
The left engine just blew. Fire flames coming out of it.
Hey, look, you guys got a brace for impact.
For Jack Moran, it stirred old memories. A bombardier on a B-17 in World War II, Jack says he remembers birds being a problem for pilots even then.
It's been 65 years, and they haven't solved that bird ingestion problem.
Bird strikes date back to the days of the Wright brothers. The FAA says now they cause more than $700 million of damage each year. And in the past 25 years, they've killed more than 200 people. Jack and his wife Therese were watching the Hudson crash that day and decided to act.
It was just something that he felt that needed to be done. There's a possibility of saving lives.
And so Jack, a former mechanical engineer and patent lawyer, came out of retirement.
He says, I can't imagine that all the patents that are out there, that they haven't been able to solve the problem. And he just kept walking around that circle in front of our house, and every time he'd come in, he'd have a new idea.
We must have found many dozens, maybe 50, 60 patents for guards, shields, deflectors of various shapes to bounce off birds. But it became pretty clear that they caused the problem. The deflectors were blocking some of that air. You had to replace the air.
It was delightful to see it, the wheels working.
And 8 months later, the result. An invention that can be attached to a jet engine. It blocks birds without blocking air.
I remember we got it in the mail on a Saturday and Sunday. That was just the beginning. That was just a nice feeling.
But the real excitement came months later when Jack met his hero, the man who performed the Miracle on the Hudson.
I really wanted him to know that he inspired me to do this.
Yes, he did.
And this is the result of what he did that caused me to get into this.
And now the focus is on production, finding someone to build his invention and test it, something that could be a long process.
Hopefully they'll be pressured a little bit into deciding that, by golly, this is going to save a lot of money and lives and aggravation.
But the Morans say they're willing to stick it out.
Call it our 20-year lease on life,
yes.
Because patents go from the time you file now for 20 years. We want those patents to expire before we
do.
The Morans say it gives them and plane passengers something to live for. Lauren Fultonberg, Fox 47 News.
Jack is 88 years old and Therese is 85 years old. Right now they say all they can do is shop their idea around and hope someone will listen and be interested enough to make it happen.